who were close to Davido, they said this is the reason why many pilots don't fly Davido's jet. The former jet, which belongs to his father, there are some accomplices that will take that jet to London just so they don't pay for a ticket on a regular airline and just so they don't pass through immigration. When you land in London or land in any country, there's small immigration counters for private jets when they come out. But if you notice when a private jet is coming out, almost 70% of the time, their luggage is going into a car and not through customs.
Right.
Have you guys noticed that?
Absolutely.
Right. So when the luggage doesn't go through customs, they could have drugs in there. So the information came up to me. Okay, I don't want to give everything out because I'm doing documentaries. There is a pastor in London who used to be a major drug dealer in the US. That pastor, some people will say they know who the pastor is. I'm not mentioning any names. It's not because I'm scared of anybody. It's not because of defamation. It's not because of slander. It's because I'm doing a documentary and I'm not giving out my money. You will hear it in the documentary. Allegations against anybody will say allegedly. I don't live in Nigeria anymore. Okay? I used allegedly on Ibiyomi. They arrested me. The police didn't know the meaning of allegedly. It took the AP, Associated Press, to send their AP style book to get the judge to dismiss the case. Everything you heard about the Ibiyomi case was lies. Okay? Some people said I went there to beg Ibiyomi because I went to his church. No. The case was dismissed by the federal courts. The judge in the federal court dismissed the case. So they had no choice but to withdraw the magistrate case. So that they wouldn't be like, it wouldn't appear that they've been disgraced. All right? Kennedy Okoko, he's late now. He died of a botched liposuction surgery. Kennedy ended up paying all the reporters not to report it. Every single reporter that was on that story was paid not to report that the case was dismissed by the federal court. The one of the reporters I was very close to, the Nation reporter and the Punch reporter, the Punch reporter just decided to do a story about my experience in Port Harcourt prison. Didn't talk about how the case ended. But the Nation reporter told me that they were paid money, 100,000 each, not to report it. For some odd reason, within 1 month after I left prison, the Nation reporter died. Fatima, did you know all this?
No, I did not.
The young man from the Nation died. He went to a buka. They said he went to a restaurant, local restaurant, like a buka style. He had his meal, he went home, and he died.
Wow.
Me personally, I think he was poisoned. Me personally, I think he was lured to the buka by some people, blah, 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 and they poisoned him. Because he told Kemi Olunloyo that they were paid. Do you see my point?
Really?
Things are happening in Nigeria. The same Kennedy Okoko that tried to assassinate me. He organized police to rearrest me that third time. And that was the third time that I fought with them. And I held this courthouse on standstill. If they had arrested me and taken me away from that courthouse, instead I went to another section of the courthouse where a judge now saw me and they remanded me back. I'm going to tell my story. I haven't written my book. I haven't told my story.
Absolutely, you have to.
I have to. Once I get there, I start with Penguin Books. Those ones are following me on Twitter. They've been following me since Hush Puppy. And when I look at them, Penguin, people are saying they're a big publisher in UK. Penguin UK. You've heard of them, right?
Yeah, well, not just in general. They're big. I don't think it's just in the UK.
Yeah, Penguin Books in the UK,
Yeah.
they're following me. I will write my book, I will do everything. I will even submit it for the Grammy, audio, if I do audio book. But what you said, Fatima, about trauma is the same thing that's been doing me. It's because of the trauma is why I have not written my book in 4 years. The minute I want to start writing what I saw in Port Harcourt and what I went through, especially the part where I plan to take the AK, I lied that I'm taking. Yeah, I lied. I said that one on TVC. When I said it on TVC, the police officer came to me. He called me and he thanked me for not killing them.
Oh wow.
Can you imagine?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that SARS officer, federal SARS officer, he thanked me for not killing them because if I had killed them, he said their wives would have suffered for the rest of their lives. I said, why would they have suffered? Because police widows, they suffer the most. So what I was doing is, you come to my house, you kidnapped me, you didn't tell my family, you drove me 12 hours across the country, okay, and I kept asking you every city we got, you didn't tell me anything. We got to Owerri, you went to buy Mr. Big's rice, you brought my own, you brought it to the car. But when we got to Asaba, I told you I had to shit, that if you don't stop at the petrol station so I can shit, I will shit in the car. So they now stopped in Asaba. They all went outside and went inside the petrol station to get drinks, hoping that I would have gone to the bathroom behind the building. Do you see what happened there?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Instead, I didn't. I carried one of the guns.
Oh.
Wow.
AK-47. My plan was to sit in the car with the guns, and when they come back to the car, I'll spread power.
Oh wow.
Spray everywhere. Remember, I still didn't know who these people were.
Wow.
They said they were police. They were in plain clothes, and the one in the front driving had a bulletproof vest. All of them had bulletproof vests, and I didn't have a bulletproof vest.
Wow.
When we got to Ore, Bini, Ore is an area in Bini that separates, I think, Bini from Ondo State. When we got to that part, I can tell you I've seen 9 states in Nigeria just because of that Port Harcourt trip. When we got to Ore, we passed a motor park that was so big. You know motor parks where they have all the buses traveling to different places? They have the downfall buses, they had the mini buses, they had the big ones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They suddenly slowed down in the hillocks. The hillocks had a siren thing on top. They slowed down and they were driving slowly. I said, why are we slowing down? The siren that they used to get us to Port Harcourt in 12 hours, Port Harcourt might be 14 hours. The siren they used, they now shut it down and they were slow. I said, what's going on? Why are we slowing down? The officer told me to shut up. Don't say a word. They slowed down for 1 mile. And then when we left where all those buses, we left that motor park, they now sped up and turned the siren on again. Do you know what they said happened? Why did you guys slow down there? Where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? Where? It was crazy, 12 hours. They said they slowed down because that area belongs to armed robbers.
Wow.
We killed 2 when we were coming to pick you up in Ibadan. Do you hear me?
Hey.
When police is passing through that area in Ore, armed robbers come and start robbing people in buses. Buses that are boarding to go elsewhere. They said they killed 2 armed robbers when they were coming to Ibadan to come and carry me. So on getting to that area, if the sirens were blaring, armed robbers could be there and they open fire. And if they open fire, everybody will live except me, right? Because I didn't have a bulletproof on.
Absolutely.
So as we moved out of it, they sped up. I haven't told my story. When I tell my story about Port Harcourt prison, and I can't always blame, this is why Yabo Ojo is not going free. To know that Kennedy Okoko, who paid journalists not to announce that the case was dismissed and the journalist mysteriously died of poisoning, to know that he paid Yabo Ojo millions not to come to court, was to keep me in prison longer. I heard this after this guy had died since the pandemic. One of those police officers came and told me, do you know the police officer that always follows Femi Fani-Kayode around? A police officer. Do you guys see Femi Fani-Kayode when he's going around with the security? The one that follows him directly with the suit on. Have you ever seen that picture?
No, I don't think I have.
Emily, have you ever seen Femi Fani-Kayode with the security around him?
No. No.
Some of them will wear suits. The one directly behind him was one of the ones that planned my kidnap.
Jesus.
He
Really?
asked for forgiveness when I went to Femi's house, when I went to Abuja in 2021. He told me a lot. Ibiomi paid 1 billion to Ibrahim Idris. Idris is now in a mental home. He went crazy to come and get me.
Oh.
One of the officers, the one that said he's really, really sorry about what happened, that if you had killed us, you would have destroyed the lives of our wives and children. He told me,